What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Game Talk Podcast, episode 142. I'm going to be bringing on a new person tonight. Hopefully we'll get some insights on what his views are on current things in the gaming industry. We got Rev Tech as always. Rev, welcome.
What's up, everybody?
What's going on, man?
Chilling, playing, doing the podcast every week. Hell yeah, let's go.
And we have another, like I said, we have another person coming in. Go ahead and introduce yourself, sir.
Whoop whoop. I am the Mocking Jason. I stream over on Facebook, Twitch, Mixer, and YouTube.
Yes, sir. All right, so on first docket of the night, we got the Call of Duty stuff coming in. It's going to be a reimagining of the original Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Some people are for it, some people are against it. We got new information coming up from this year's soon E3. I guess it's going to be all right. I mean, I don't know. I haven't really been excited about E3, you guys, in a while, so hopefully this E3 will turn it around for me. What did you want to start off with, sir? Red?
We can talk about Call of Duty. We're already talking about it. Why don't we talk about it? I'll tell you this right now with Call of Duty. I'll say this. I gotta wait and see when it gets released. My thing is, the Black Ops 4 is broken as all hell, and what also doesn't help the cause is they're doing crossplay with this game, and they're also giving PS4 first DLC. Yeah. And that how do you have crossplay with a game, right? And then everything's coming to PS4 first. Like, it should be even across the board. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait out on it and see what everybody thinks. A lot of my friends are for it, and a lot of other people that I know are just like, I'm done with Call of Duty. I'm tired. They should do what Assassin's Creed did, take 2 years off, then come back. Yeah. And two, it's becoming point to me where there's third-party games now that just pique my interest more than anything else.
Fair enough.
Then Call of Duty, because you got Ironsight out there, and Ironsight's kicking ass, and I like Ironsight. So I mean,
Ironsight's is doing pretty good. I mean, they've sort of they went dark for a while with their developing team, and then all of a sudden they came out of nowhere, like revamping their systems and stuff. So I'm really looking forward to what they have in the future. I hope Ironsight continues to do well. What do you think, Jace? Reimagining of Call of Duty.
You know, all the way up until the release, I want to be very, very adamant that I am not going to pick it up, but I'll probably end up buying it.
Fair enough.
It's usually the way it goes. I don't think I've really thoroughly enjoyed a Call of Duty game since Ghosts, personally. And yet I think I've got them all. The only one I ended up skipping was Infinite Warfare, which I don't feel like I missed much. But even the last couple, I kept saying, no, I'm not going to pick it up, still did. And I'm thoroughly disappointed each time. I don't know why I keep doing it to myself. It's a little masochistic. I'm just tired of the same stuff.
True.
You know?
Yeah, true.
It's fatigue.
Well, I'm going to say this. With crossplay coming, and they're saying they're not going to have the same microtransaction system as Black Ops 4. To me, I hope they don't do the Destiny type deal with this game where we get half of a story and then, oh, by the way, you have to buy the season pass. They said they're not doing a season pass and this is all reimagining, but we all know it's Activision. We all know. So I'm hoping when we get this game, it doesn't go cough, $30. Here's a season pass you need to buy to play the story more. And then we're going to release it in seasons because we can do that.
So, like, here's my thing, right? Like, so so for me, I like Jace and you, like, you know me, Rev. Like, I buy every COD, even though if I say I'm not gonna buy it, I end up buying it. So I'm not even gonna say I'm not gonna buy it because we both know I'm gonna have that Xbox pre-order pretty soon. The thing for me, like, Call of Duty Modern Warfare was my favorite COD of all time. Even like I've been playing COD since the very first one, and I liked the World War series and the campaigns. They were okay. But when Modern Warfare came out, 2006, dude, like, that changed it for me. That was, like, I think that was, like, everybody's huge, like, holy crap, this was really, really well done. Like, it was such a good game.
Well, you got to remember too, there was a two other developer, Jason West and Zampella. they're gone, far gone. So
Right, right. No,
this
I
is
know.
under a brand new Affinity Ward and Beanix studio.
Yeah, yeah.
That
I get that. The thing is though, like they are trying to completely overhaul what they've been doing. Like
well,
they're claiming it's a new engine. I think it's just the same engine but with more add-ons like they do every year. That's what I think. Because they always
well,
claim it's a new engine and then we find out later it's really not.
here's my thing. My thing is, yeah, you know, I get they're going for the nostalgia feeling, but at the same time, I know Activision is trying so hard
Yeah.
to keep the Call of Duty base. To me, they could have done something uniquely different.
Mm-hmm.
I wish they would have went. Once upon a time, they were doing a Roman time Call of Duty, and it was supposed to be this badass thing. I just want innovation,
Yeah.
and I'm kind of really getting tired of the same old flash in the pan like shit.
Well, see, and that's
And
but that's the thing though. Like from what I saw, it didn't look like it was gonna be that. You know what I mean? But then again, this is Activision. You could be right.
Years
well,
ago, they had a idea for I forget the name of it, but it ended. It obviously didn't end up happening. But they were going to be coming out with a Vietnam War sent one, and they were going to be partnering up with the story writers from the now defunct studio that did the Dead Space game, the original one,
Mm.
and it was supposed to be more of a horror Call of Duty game, which I was really excited for. And then I think after that, they ended up coming out with Black Ops 3 again,
Yeah.
and
I'm looking forward to like the new guns. I'm looking forward to the reimagining of some of the older levels. You know, I know it's gonna be pretty much a fresh coat of paint, but I mean, like I said, like I still play Call of Duty 4 to this day. Like the remaster, like I play the hell out of that game. It's just I can't get over it. Like I don't know what it is. I don't know if maybe it's the game. I don't know, dude. Like that game is still addicting to me.
well, the thing is with Call of Duty, it is this make or break them at this point. They don't have anything coming. Activision really doesn't have anything coming down the pipeline.
Well, they've been
So they
working on
have
this game for what, 5 years now, right? Is that what they
suppose
said?
they've been working since Black Ops 3 for this game. And they originally delayed it. Then they can't. Then supposedly it was supposed to come out in 2020, late 2020 next year, and they were supposed to be Black Ops 5. But when they got word Black Ops 5 was coming, people just shit upon it. That's just the way it
Yeah,
went. People just shit it.
instead they're moving it forward for this year. We're gonna be
Yeah.
getting it October 25th, which I'm really looking forward to. I'm not gonna lie. I got tired of the. I don't know, dude. Like Black Ops 4 is fun, right? Like,
Well, the
we
thing
had a
is,
lot
they
of
don't
fun with
have
it, but
they
like,
don't have competition.
but
That's the problem.
but like for some reason when we had a lot of fun. Like even you and I were saying like Black Ops 4 is probably one of the better Call of Duties that we played in a long time. But
Well,
the PC
but here's the
versions
thing.
are suffering, and they're still not fixing it. So
Well, here's the thing. They haven't brought dedicated servers to the damn thing. They need to. There is no excuse why they haven't done it in years. They should.
yeah,
The thing is, there's no competition, so they can release whatever they want. Battlefield lately has just been a hit and miss thing. Like Battlefield doesn't know what direction they want to go, and when they go to the direction they go, it falls flat.
it's why I still play Battlefield 3 and 4.
Exactly.
Those are the best.
Same here.
Those are the best. Yeah, those were the best. One
When
was
they-
alright. I liked one. I thought one was good.
one
they
was a
start-
good change of pace.
Yeah.
When they started Hardline, they went to this other graphics, and I'm just like, I don't know how to feel about you anymore.
Hardline was good. I thought Hardline was good.
It just felt like a reskin.
Yeah, it was a reskin, but like the concept of the heist and you know, I liked the cop chasing robber aspect of that game. I thought that was actually pretty well done
Nobody played those modes though.
on PC.
Yeah, that's the sad. That's the sad part.
See, this is why I play a lot of my games on Xbox, is because a lot of the community is still very much alive there.
Even on Xbox, I didn't feel like the Battlefield Hardline. I could get into their heist mode or whatever.
Oh, you couldn't. You couldn't do it.
Yeah, not as often. Not when I played. I mean, granted, I didn't put as much time into Hardline as I have all the other Battlefields.
Well,
but
I mean, some of the maps. I will say this. I think what really killed Hardline on PC was the fact that the maps were incredibly unbalanced. I mean, you being a cop trying to get into the bank. It was like it's like one of the maps. I can't remember the name of it, but you had a whole team of snipers on the top of the roof, And then across the way, you had the parking structure, which were also covered in sniper fire. And the only entrance point you had was from the northern corner of the map. So when you came around the corner, you were getting sniped right off the bat. So it was like, how the hell do you get into this thing without dying? And the only way we were able to play this on console back then was I had to get a team stack going, and we had to go in with like team smoked in order to fucking do anything. I mean, it was kind of ridiculous, but I mean, like I said,
one thing I will say about Call of Duty Modern Warfare, you know, most like I'll get it, you know, probably for PC because it depends on where we lie with these new consoles. Speaking of this, with new graphics engine and them promoting 4K, is there going to be new consoles at this point? That's going to be my question going forward. Are they going to do? Because they're already because at the AMD event they already teased the PS5, so we all know that PS5 is going to have a Navi GPU, GDR6 of some sort, and they're going to have a lot of my friends are hyped over it.
How many gigs is that thing going to be?
They said 8.
It needs to
they
be
said
more,
8.
Dude. It needs to be way more than that.
8. I think 8 to 12 is what they're planning.
I wouldn't settle for anything less than 16, dude. If they're gonna
well, what's irritating to me is AMD. One thing I'll say about AMD, what irritates me about AMD going forward is the fact that they're promoting PlayStation. What about Microsoft? Like those motherfuckers over there are the ones been hyping your crap up for the longest time. They have been doing your dedicated servers. They've been doing everything. Why is Microsoft not getting the priority here?
Because Microsoft didn't put any stipulations in the contract when they were doing all the third-party major development with AMD. They didn't want to put any stipulations because they didn't want to taint the relationship between them and AMD. That's why AMD's driver support through the Windows OS is actually pretty decent. That's the only reason why, though. You look at the way Microsoft has done business before in the past, and they killed a lot of their business partnerships with companies like AMD and some of the OEM product manufacturing companies like Hynix and some of those guys, because they were trying to put stipulation clauses in their contracts saying that they can't do business with any of their competition, and that hurt them in the long run. So I could see why they didn't do it this time, because they realized that they need as much help as they possibly can. So all the major contracts, when it came through, they were like, okay, you know what? We're just going to go ahead and open all the gates. Fuck it. Let's see what happens. And I think they're better for it in the long run, because look at all the major driver updates that we've gotten that are pretty much AMD ready. And it's like, you know, really good.
speaking of Microsoft is doing a lot of me and Jace have been talking about this for a while. Microsoft is just like literally killing it. Like right now, like they're doing all the right moves and saying all the right things. Like Phil Spencer, literally to me is what's revitalizing Microsoft. He's recognizing. Go for it.
Oh no, that's all I had to say. He's the man.
I think
didn't mean to kill your role.
I think with Microsoft, I think this is a good idea. Xbox Game Pass for PC.
Yeah,
I think that's a good thing. I know a lot of people are gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, Bram, that's terrible. You're supporting anti-consumer." But like, think about it. Like, what, $5, $6? You literally download the game onto your hard drive and you play the game as you see fit. Like, it's not a streaming service; it's a straight up download. And it's what, $5, $6 a month, and then
$9.
Or $9 a month. That's even more.
Yeah, it's $9.99.
That means you don't have to pay the full $60. You don't have to do all of the stupid DLC practices. So in the long term, if you don't like the DLC practices and you want to say Activision can go fuck themselves, you just do the Game Pass, and boom, there you go. Because they have a lot of Ultimate Editions in their Game Pass on Xbox. Imagine what they're going to do for PC.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing they're also doing. They're bringing third-party PC games to it. So they're kind of taking the EA Origin Premier, tactic.
It's like they're taking Humble Bundle, EA Origin, and Steam on their good sales and just sort of macking it all together. And that's another thing. That $9.99 that you're paying, you get an additional sometimes, especially if you get like deals with gold. It's like an additional 20% off on top of the sell. So you could get any game that you have on your Game Pass for almost 60 to 70% off. So it pays for itself.
Well, here's another. It's been rumored and confirmed that they're reworking the store, the Microsoft store, and separating the games and the Microsoft store. I think that's what I've been
They
reading
need to
and
because
seeing.
it's a mess right now. It's a hot mess right now, dude. I go into my deals with gold and I see a bunch of movies first, and I'm like, no, I don't. I didn't buy this shit for movies. I bought this shit for games. I have to actually go digging around on my Xbox Live dashboard just to get some games.
So on the PC side, it's really going to be interesting this year alone. And supposedly at E3, they're going to give us finally information on Halo Master Chief Collection and where that's going to lie.
Oh, dude, I am so looking forward to Halo PC. Jace, I think you are too, right?
Oh, me, big Halo fan.
Yeah, same. Like, dude, we haven't had a Halo since Halo 2, right?
Yeah, Halo 2, and that was back on Vista.
Oh god, it was so terrible then. It was
Allow,
so
deny,
bad.
allow, deny.
It was so bad, dude. It was so bad.
You know, I was happy that when Phil Spencer first came in power, the first thing he did was got rid of that Xbox Live game thing, the thing on the side that when you played certain Microsoft games.
Yeah, that shit like it bottlenecked your.
Yeah.
It was a huge bottleneck on your system, and every time you try to
Yeah.
launch the game, you were getting like negative 30 to 40% of your resources to play the game. So like you were getting like slideshow like features in your game that you didn't want.
Yeah.
So it was pretty bad. It was terrible actually, but I'm glad that Microsoft has finally pulled through. From what I understand, they're really trying to come out swinging, dude. Like they know they don't have exclusives anymore, which is fine. I don't care about that. I know a lot of the fan base. They do care about it. They're like, well, why do I even bother buying this if I could play all these games on the PlayStation?
Well, here's the thing.
And I think
A
that's
lot
the
of
point, though. That's what they want people to say. They don't want to be a one-stop shop anymore because they've tried that and it actually cost them more in the end. So
well, take a look at a lot of people. A lot of people went over to PC, from Xbox. And the reason for it is because really, do you go out and buy an Xbox anymore, or do you just go out and build yourself a monster PC? More people are building
yeah,
monster PCs. And two, with this emulation thing that's been rumored, 360 and Xbox One games, it kind of is now starting to, with the Game Pass, it kind of makes it more worth it at this point.
yeah.
I mean, with Game Pass on PC, if they're doing the whole emulation thing with the next major update.
And here's my thing about that, right? I could see a lot of the PC community kind of like being in an uproar about this, but I'm gonna say this: if you're paying for Humble Bundle every month, you have no room to bitch. I'm just saying that right
Yeah,
now.
if you're paying for EA Access, like you're paying EA. Because think about it, most of us here, most of us pay for Spotify, the Humble Bundle monthly, most likely, and maybe some other subscription based services,
Yeah,
including Amazon Prime at that.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's becoming, Microsoft sees this and they want to get into the game in the action of it. They do have Game Pass now on PC. The problem is with it is that it's just a pile of mess. You're better off getting an Xbox for Game Pass than you are on PC. So I get why Phil Spencer is diving in to the PC and reworking everything to make it right. And they should get rid of the store, honestly.
It may be a smaller thing too, but they are trying to work it to be more consumer friendly.
I think so.
Supposedly later this year, they're supposed to bundle Game Pass along with Xbox Live, so that it only costs $15 a month instead of paying $20 a month. So it's a little bit cheaper, but something.
What for PC or for Xbox?
Just confirmed for Xbox, but I'm assuming that's since they're doing PC Game Pass, that's going to be bundled along with that. Well,
oh, nice. That would be.
Or you can get it to go along with that because right now, as it stands, Xbox like you said, Rev, Game Pass on Xbox transfers to PC. I don't think that's going to change. I don't think you're going to have to pay for PC and Xbox. I think it'll go either way.
That alone makes it worth it. Like if I didn't even know about that. Honestly, I haven't kept up with my Xbox. I've just been playing a lot of games, so that's even better.
Here's the thing though. They're taking on, and I know what they're doing. They're taking on EA Access Premier. And the reason for it is what does EA Access Premier offer me?
That's what's saving EA actually is that fucking Premier, dude.
Well, the Premier, you get third-party games included with their first parties, so it's a win-win situation.
Yeah.
Like Darksiders is on there. They got a few other third-party games that you can get off to the side. And at the same moment, Microsoft is seeing this. Microsoft's been quiet. That's the thing I like about it. They are quiet. They remind me so much of like a really high-end smartphone company where they wait for everybody else to do their thing, and then they just come out and make something that's revolutionary and blows everything out the water. That's why we haven't heard anything about Project X. You know what I mean? They're letting everybody like Stadia and all of them just go and do their thing. Hey, talk all your bullet points and all that, and then Phil Spencer's gonna come on stage and be. Phil Spencer reminds me of the gaming version of, and I know people are gonna dislike me for this, the Steve Jobs literally of gaming. Like when he comes out, it's literally when
He
you
lights
want
up the
it,
room, dude. He
he
lights up
lights
the
up the
room. That's, I mean,
and he talks up things really really well.
how many
Well, he's
people?
playing it smart. He's doing a slow. He's the last, what was it, 5 years since he's been put in as a head? I
Yep.
think it's something like that. Yeah, he's been doing a small, slow burn, and that's why you haven't seen much exclusives the last couple of years because he's sitting there slowly, re- trying to work on the PC side, trying to work on inclusiveness, I guess, instead of exclusives,
Yeah.
and he's planning ahead. They're buying up studios left and right, working on getting these first party games to come out, and it's a forward thinking plan rather than just a big bang right now.
Well, they went out and they got Obsidian Studios, Ninja Theory. They went out and they just went boom, 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 boom. Then they went Capcom. We want some of your games to be exclusively to our platform,
Yeah.
and
Mm-hmm.
that's what they did. And it's smart. And they've been doing it very quiet, unlike their competition, Sony. That's just shouting from the rooftops. Here's our floor plan. Boom, 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 boom. And I'm telling you, their console's going to be expensive. I'm telling you right now, what everything AMD talked about at their Computex event was just like it screamed $600.
Bro.
It literally screamed 600.
And see, like, that's the thing, right? Like, and I'm not gonna be willing to trade in my Xbox. I think I told you this already. I'm gonna like leave this Xbox upstairs on the big TV, and then I'll just probably go out and buy that thing whenever it goes down and sale on a holiday sale or something. Cause I'm not gonna spend $600 on the system right away.
No, for me, $600 is gonna be
New
upgrading my PC.
GPU, PC, yeah. And that's
Well,
what
and
I'll
Phil
do for
Spencer's
too.
been very vocal that he's going to make games forward compatible. Where I think it's going to work more like, if I'm understanding him right, more like the way like your iPhone games work. I don't know what are they on iPhone 11 right now, so you can play a game.
iOS 13 coming up soon.
Yeah, yeah. So as long as you're like 4 or 5, version 4 or 5, you can play this game, and then the next year it's version 5 or 6, whatever. And I think that's the way Xbox is going to be. Eventually, the first Xbox One will become obsolete and not going to be able to run games, but they're going to keep supporting it until it's just too old to run them. And I think it's going to be more of just this kind of cycle instead of a straight up hardcore hardline new generation, if that makes sense.
So
That
like,
makes sense.
so is this so the new Xbox is definitely gonna be backwards compatible though, right?
Yeah,
Oh, oh yeah.
the new Xbox is gonna be backwards compatible. They stated everything's gonna work with it as you once remember it. Where Sony's like, we don't know. They're saying it's gonna be all done with emulation,
Yeah.
which I'm face palming because here's why. It they're using the same architecture. It makes no sense. Like, why do you have to emulate the PS4 game? Or so you're basically telling me is to do backwards compatibility, I have to go and basically what in my mind, in my prediction is, oh, you're putting it under a paywall, so streaming service. I get what you're trying to do. Okay, you're gonna launch all your games on the streaming service, and you're gonna try to be like what Google's doing. Okay, so backwards compatibility, it will be able to do it, but emulation wise, but you're gonna put it under a paywall, and that's just greedy. That is just greedy.
Yeah.
To me. You should not be nickeling dime the consumer. So if I put a disc in my PlayStation 5 and it says incompatible, but for more information, you can get our streaming service. That's nickeling and diming, especially if you're going to be asking for $600.
I think overall, I think they're really pretty good, pretty good gangster. I'm glad you made it, sir. How you doing? Adjust the volume because for some reason I can barely hear him. You can't hear me? Can you hear me now? Like it's up. Like it's up all the way.
I can hear you. I'm listening to it back.
Am I louder?
On my OBS, you're coming in you're like close to the yellow as possible.
Oh, okay. All right. Huh. Maybe turn up the stream for yourself, sir, because I guess I'm coming in pretty good. Facebook coming in on my stream, troll. Dude, like I don't know. It's still kind of hard for me to be excited for their new hardware, but from what you guys are telling me about the new service, though, I can definitely get down with that. Like definitely. And honestly, I think this is a smart move because I think this is targeting more like streamers, people who don't have a whole lot of money. I mean, how many streamers do you go to, Rev, that you help every day? And same with you, Jace. I know you're a Twitch streamer. How many people have you guys watched where their systems could barely run what they're running, right? So if they get one of these Xboxes, say at a discounted rate, and they pay for the service, they're going to have a ton of games to choose from to stream. And I know it's really more about Mixer for them. That's what they're trying to build up, which is good. But just in general, this is targeting streamers, I feel. And I think that's actually a really good thing. So,
yeah, I totally agree there.
I think Microsoft's smart in that they're not looking at trying to win a console war. They're just looking at overall market share. They're finally embracing their PC side. What's going on with the talks about bringing the Xbox platform over to Xbox Live and all that over to the Nintendo Switch, incorporating all that, and they're looking at overall market share.
yeah.
And going back to kind of the roots of Microsoft, where it's not so much about, I bought this PC made in a Microsoft factory. That's not how Microsoft got the market share. It's by the software, and that's what they're pushing now. Is they're pushing Xbox as a platform rather than a piece of hardware.
They started off being software engineers first, and that's what a lot of people don't seem to understand is they were a software engineering company long before they even got into hardware. They admitted that when they first made the very first Xbox. They said, this is our first console. We adapted the studio into our company because we didn't know what to do. That's exactly what they said back then. And now, and the 360 was proof of that. That after they disassembled the first studio and they said, well, we could do this ourselves, they screwed themselves over, causing them literally billions of dollars in loss, really. So for them to go like this, to sort of go back into their engineering software ways, that's actually a good thing. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Well, also, too, Microsoft is doing something like, I say Apple, and I know some of us don't like Apple here. And some people in the chat don't, and all where we're casting it at.
Yeah.
Honestly, they're taking kind of that approach where they're saying, okay, well, you guys are tired of every such and such a revitalization, or like it'd be like OnePlus. Let's just say OnePlus. Okay, they're technically doing they're giving you services over bringing out new hardware every
right.
They're just giving you a new iteration of something. And I wouldn't be surprised if they just call it Xbox. The Xbox. You know what I mean? Not 2, not 3, just the Xbox. And they just start calling it like, this is the Xbox Gen 2. And they slightly upgrade it here and there, kind of like what they do with the phones in a lot of ways, like Samsung, like OnePlus, like Apple. And they just give us a slight iteration over time. And they just keep making the surfaces better and better and better as we go. So you don't really need hardware.
Yeah, exactly, Jack. That's what we're saying too. That's a very good thing that they're releasing their games on Steam. Their what was it? Their Halo RTS they put on Steam was one of the top selling games for Steam during its release. If that says anything, like that was a pretty good accomplishment. That game sold better on PC than it did Xbox. And I'm one of the ones that played that game online pretty religiously. Like it's a good game. It's a shame that not a whole lot of people play that game, really. But whatever.
Now, from reading, Microsoft may be giving us a swerve at E3 with probably Halo 5 being bundled in the Master Chief Collection as well to get us all caught
Oh,
up for
that would
Halo
be
6.
so. Dude, I would rebuy. I would actually pre-order that just so I could have it on Steam.
Yeah,
Just for
I,
Steam,
I
dude.
agree there.
Yeah. That's another thing. I hope they. Okay, so you guys remember what was it? Was it Q? I think it was like Q2 or 3 when that last Call of Duty came out on PC of what was it? I don't think it was last year, but the year before, where people were buying it on PC and nobody played it because they were using separate servers then from Steam. I hope they fix that. I really,
Jack,
really...
Jack, I'm going to say this real quick. If there's money to be made, Microsoft may just put it on all platforms. Their games.
Yeah.
You never know. You never know with that. Like everybody's like crapping on Epic, but if there's money to be made and Phil Spencer sees an opportunity on Epic, he may just throw his games on Epic and on Steam and on the Microsoft Store and make it all universal that way. He's the one that's kind of made crossplay into a thing.
Yeah.
Like I
yeah.
give him the credit in the world. Like he's the one.
If there's one dude that anybody should respect in this gaming industry whatsoever, like at all, it should be Phil. I mean, he's the only one to successfully discuss with Nintendo about crossplay and actually succeed. I just want to throw that out there. Nintendo is a lot like Apple in that sense, where they don't feel like sharing with all the others because they've always looked at everybody else as, competition.
Well, that's slowly going. That's coming to an end because Microsoft and Nintendo are shaking hands now in interviews. So the times are changing. People are changing.
Yeah.
Most people want a game with their friends on most people want a game from PC with their friends on console.
Exactly.
Let's say let's say we're playing Borderlands 3, right? And, my friend doesn't have an opportunity to get a PC or doesn't have a desire to get a PC. And he just wants to sit back in his couch, and drink beer and do his thing and still wants to play with me and talk to me. He should be able to have that right to do that, with no compromise. Hey, and I like how what was that?
Sorry, Rev. I didn't mean to cut you off, bro. Could I get Gangster in here? Because he's one of the founding members of this podcast.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead and send him a link. Yeah.
How do I do that? Because I don't want to... Hold on.
Here, I can send it to you right
awesome,
here. Here
you
you
go,
bud.
It's like...
I'll make it simple.
Sorry.
Make it simple. There you go, bud.
Ooh, Xbox Wire. I should have brought that. Thanks, Jace. I didn't see that.
Oh, no worries.
Let's see. Let me get Gangster in here. Sorry, Gangster. I didn't think about it, bro. Copy link. Besides, your ass is hardly ever on anymore. There you go, bro. There's the invite link, and Rev will drag you up.
Ooh. I see this on the stream itself.
Oh, there
Thanks
he is.
for
What's good?
What's up, Pete? How's it going, sir?
Chilling, dude. How about you?
It's been a long time. Working my ass off. Barely having
welcome, Gangster.
Thank you very much.
Man.
How you guys doing?
Pretty good, sir. Pretty good. You said you wanted to touch on the AMD stuff, and I know...
Bro, I'm hurt, dog. You talk about AMD and you don't invite me?
I'm sorry.
I'm an AMD boy, bro.
Bro, like I barely...
This motherfucker.
We barely get to talk anymore, so I didn't even know you were on. So
hey, it's exciting. It's exciting times to be an AMD fan. They're killing
it. They're coming back, dude. They're bringing it back.
And you know what's funny? Too. You know what's funny? If you're talking AMD, let's talk about the fact that Intel decided, oh, we're gonna release this processor and edit Computex, and everybody just laughed them out the building.
Right, which one are you talking about?
They released they have the 9900S, and then they tried to release another 8-core.
That's right. That's right.
At Computex, and everybody just laughed them out the building.
Well, yeah, because they don't have benchmarks yet officially. But there was a few scores that they checked the scores in comparison with like the 3800 or whatever the fuck it was, and it was not doing very well. Or no. Clock speeds for the 3600, the 8-core, whatever that one is.
Well, we can say this, and Brimson, I'll say this in the pod. I'll pay this in the i5s are dead in the water at this point because AMD's got that market on lockdown. And i3s, AMD's got that on lockdown too now. Like the i3 market now has kind of gone to AMD at this point. They can release an APU at this point that just stomps it at that point.
Their server's going to start getting killed by Epic too, because there were 3 new security vulnerabilities found, and I just read an article about the performance hit on Spectre and Meltdown between AMD and Intel, and it was like 5 times more on Intel than for AMD.
And we can't forget the whole zombie thing that's going
Yep.
on with only Intel CPUs at the moment.
Yeah.
You have to turn hyper-threading off, which I heard decreases the performance down by a lot.
Oh yeah.
What was
it's a big hit.
Wasn't there another one, you guys, that it was like ransomware not that long ago?
There's 5. There's Spectre, Meltdown, Zombie. Fuck, I'd have to go pull up I have a thing with all of them.
If you own an Intel CPU at the moment, you want to turn off hyper-threading.
Yeah.
Which basically turns their 4-core 8-thread CPUs into junk, and the 6-core 12 threads into
molten.
I mean, it's still just a 6-core. Like, that's the thing. AMD's 6 cores do 12 threads.
And AMD's not done yet. There's a big rumor going around that Ryzen 9, there's another one coming, 16 cores.
Yep. Well, they officially confirmed 16 cores on Zen 2. We just don't know when the release is. It could be in the next cycle, or they could wait till like maybe early next year. I could see that maybe. But it'll be soon.
And guys in the stream, just let you guys know, if you do have an X370 board or a B350 board, you may not be eligible to officially run the new Ryzen stuff. I know you can run the Ryzen 7 and the Ryzen 5 stuff going forward.
I thought it was MSI were the only ones that weren't doing it. I thought Gigabyte confirmed it.
Gigabyte said with an update, and that's at their leisure if they want to do it or not.
Oh yeah, okay. That's because all the X470 boards will.
Yeah,
but there's a lot of X370 and then the even cheaper ones that, man, you couldn't put a 12 core on that.
So you can
even though it's only like 100 watts for the big one. I mean, that's still way too much.
So what was that, Rev? I'm waiting out for the new Threadripper so I can get that 16-core sweetness on the new motherboard.
This guy.
Huh?
Well, they did
16
say
core. They've got that in regular.
They did say that Threadripper may be taking a back seat for this launch.
That's fine.
I think they will.
That's fine. I'll wait it. I've been using this system for years, dude. I don't care.
They've already got 32-core epics, so why would they go 32-core Threadripper? And
they've already got
exactly, and they're coming out with a 16-core regular Ryzen. So why would they do a 24-core and that's it?
But
I just don't see it.
Well, the thing is they were having a lot of issues with some of them, right? When it came to basic.
Oh yeah, dude.
So, but
because they hadn't gotten the architecture down.
Huh?
They hadn't gotten the architecture down. Like they had to split the RAM. You had to use 2 sticks of RAM because each CPU set could only. Well, it could access all the RAM if you set a setting right, but it severely slowed everything down.
Because
so most things,
right?
Right. They hadn't quite gotten it to where that many cores could talk to each other like perfectly yet.
Now they're saying with this Affinity Fabric, it should be resolved all those problems. Hopefully,
yes,
we haven't seen testing
but
yet.
It doesn't run as fast though.
Man, you're pushing 16 cores though. Look at all that performance.
But here's the thing, right? Overclocking your memory gets you more performance per percent overclock than it does core, because overclocking the Infinity Fabric is way better for overall performance than just getting higher core speed. Now with the new Zen 2, you've got up to, I think it's 4,000 at launch, and they're trying to push 5,000. But
is this is it Zen 3 or Zen 2?
It's Zen 2.
Okay.
Yeah. Ryzen 1 and Ryzen 2 are both Zen 1. This now Ryzen 3 series, that's the start of Zen 2.
Got you.
And with Zen 2, instead of the Infinity Fabric running at half the RAM clock speed, it now runs at, I believe, a third. So, like with what I got now, I got a 2700X on PBO, and I've got my RAM. I got 32 gigs of G Skill, and I've got it running 33, I think.
Yeah.
So my Infinity Fabric is somewhere around 1600 megahertz, to get that same speed with Zen 2, you've got to push like almost 4,000.
You know what I'm excited for is I want to see what AMD is going to do on graphics card side. I'm kind of excited for that.
I love my Vega.
Same.
God, a Navi, but because they're not going to release Vega quality Navi chips first. But once they get to those, I might be interested in that, and then give my Vega to my brother. Because I love, God, dude, my 290X lasted me for like 6 years, and still played shit at 140 frames per second, no problem. I think I could do the same thing with the Vega, and Navi looks even better. So I'm happy with AMD right now.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Since I bought that Vega 56, Pete, like I've had like little to no issues versus the Nvidia card I was using.
I've only found one game that my computer doesn't like, and that's Arma. But I think that's CPU
I love my
side.
Vega 56. My Vega 56 does everything.
Dude, you can clock up as high as a 1070.
Yep.
Well, there's clocks that me and Rev were looking at a long bit ago that dude, like they were getting better clocks than some 2070s. Like it was kinda ridiculous, dude. It is a
There are
56
some
card.
Bro, I'll bet you my Vega can. I bet you it could get equal to a 2080.
I've seen those clocks. That's how we discovered the Vega cards were doing so well. Like it was between this and the 1660 Ti for us, and we said, "Fuck it, let's get the Vega 56."
Oh yeah, 1660 Ti. Fuck that. Oof. Yeah,
But,
Nvidia's had some hard times lately. I feel bad for them.
What about you, Jace? What kind of system you running, man? Are you running AMD or Nvidia?
Me, I'm running Nvidia. Sorry, I'm not as much of a hardware
No, it's okay.
expert as you guys are.
No, you're fine.
Let's see, I've got a Nvidia. I got a 1080 Ti Founders.
Solid card.
i7 7800X.
Very nice CPU.
Yeah, it's been working good. I mean, I game and stream on the same computer, and I don't think I've had a single issue except for maybe Battlefield 5. I think is about the only game I really have to drop the settings when I'm streaming. But
yeah.
But you have one of the better. You have one of the better. You have the 7th gen. The 7th gen was really good.
Yeah, the 7th gen. If you do the CPU boss and you compare that with mine, and like they're almost equal. Like I think yours is just slightly better than mine by a little bit. That's why I haven't upgraded yet, because there's not really a whole lot of pathing I can upgrade to without spending $1,000+ to get a 9000 series card. CPU. So I'm like, fuck that. I don't think.
Yeah, so. I mean, my last PC. This is my second PC. My first one I built by myself, and I built it as a budget one. It was when I first got into streaming, and I was running a AMD FX.
Yeah.
350.
Yeah, my dog.
And I mean, I loved it. It was too old at that point. Bro,
I streamed on that thing forever, man.
Yeah.
Dude, 140 frames on Overwatch while streaming like 720 at 60 frames.
Yeah.
That chip handled. It just couldn't do the suit. Like Arma it hated, PlanetSide 2 it didn't like. You know, there were just a couple of games that really needed those high clocks that you couldn't get, and yeah.
Yeah, and at that time I was streaming a lot of PUBG, so it did not handle it well.
Brimstone remembers my 9590 Adventure, man. You remember that?
Yeah.
I overclocked the shit out of that too.
And how high did you get it?
I got it pretty high, and then it was like, my computer was like, yeah, no, we're too hot to handle.
Oh, bro, I had my 8350 at the end at like 4.8 on 1.4 volts, and I fried my 950 motherboard. It was the good one too. It was the Asus Gaming 950. But that VRM just could not handle. Dude, that thing pulled almost 300 watts,
That's
dude.
Expensive, dude. Those were expensive back in that time.
No, I got it for cheap.
Did you?
I did. $70, bro.
Wow.
Yeah. I got a steal.
You know how many people I know that like fucking were trying to get the best right when the 8350 came out, and that board was at what, like 260, almost 3?
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, it was stupid expensive.
So this Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, that looks really good too.
Yeah, so I just want to point out AMD optimized.
Yeah.
All the games on Xbox are AMD optimized. Every single
and Sony.
Yep.
This is going to be AMD's generation, bro. I'm telling you. They're coming back.
I think
And they're not fuckwits like Nvidia, dude. They don't lock their shit behind fucking software licenses and shit. God, I fucking hate Nvidia.
So I want to talk. So check this out, right? So I was having problems with OBS a little bit ago, and Rev helped me out. Dude, I don't think I can ever go back to OBS after streaming on Relive.
Relive is great.
Dude, so check this out. I was streaming what was it I was streaming that was high end?
Destiny.
Oh, Destiny 2, right? So OBS was crashing, my system was crashing. So I figured, okay, well maybe OBS, maybe I'm just trying to push it too far. I switched over to Relive. Dude, I didn't have a single fucking problem after that. Not one.
Yeah.
Relive,
It doesn't have some of the options that OBS has, which kind of irritates me. Like they really should have some more mic options, like a noise gate
yeah.
and shit like that. But other than that, yeah, dude, it's super simple and it works really fucking well.
Dude, like I was streaming Destiny 2, then I streamed Division 2 with Rev. Me and him were playing when we were cracking out on that game. I streamed Far Cry. Like it ran all my shit on high. Like on high, not medium, not low, but high at 720 60 frames per second, and it did it extremely well. So I'm really impressed with that. I didn't think the Relive service has got, I didn't think they got that much better over the years.
Oh,
but
speaking of content, did you guys hear that Streamlabs is now bringing out their own content creation section?
Oh, really?
Oh, shit.
Going forward, yeah, I read about that. I was gonna send you a link to it.
Yeah,
they're making
Let's
their
talk
own.
about it. Yeah,
They're making their own.
Is it gonna be a YouTube alternative?
They're talking that it's gonna be like a stream thing, content creation, where they got the money and the funding.
Fuck it.
Yeah, anything
I'll take any competition.
That's what I'm saying. Speaking of content creation, Jace, do you do any, or are you just a streamer, sir?
I used to do more. I used to make videos and stuff. I used to work for a gaming clan, and I managed their YouTube clan for a while. And then I left, and I think the clan went defunct. But did that for quite as well. I don't do videos as much, at least gaming side. But I'm a film student, so I do that sort of stuff.
Oh, okay. Maybe
right on.
Maybe do some YouTube videos in the future of your own stuff, man. That'd be good.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, your Twitch is doing pretty good, right?
Twitch is okay. My Facebook side's better. That's where I mainly stream.
Oh,
but
yeah, that's
Twitch
right.
is catching up.
That's right. Facebook does streaming now. Lol.
They do.
But they do. But it may be lol. But like this man here has one heck of a following on Facebook versus his Twitch, and it's one of the reasons why I considered it myself. Actually,
I want to try that new one that came out that's based on crypto.
D-Live?
Yes.
It's I've streamed to there for a little bit, and it is a pretty friendly community. The only thing you have to keep in mind is that it's got such a low user base.
I know. I mean, well, that's the problem with any new ones coming out.
Here you go, Brimstone.
It's less than, I think, maybe 3,000 or 4,000 anytime I've jumped on and looked at their user count. It's definitely below 10,000 even during peak hours.
So are they mining on your shit when you stream to them, or no?
No, they just have like a tip in pay system that's based on a cryptocurrency.
Because I think somebody tried telling me that they're mining on your shit for cryptocurrency or crypto stuff while you're using it, and that's why I never switched over to D-Live, because I was a little worried about that. But if that's not the case, then shit, that's even better. New creator streamersite.tv. Ooh, streamersite.tv. That's what their name's gonna be.
What it looks like that's the way they're going. Yeah.
Huh.
They're the Streamlabs has been funding a lot of money. They're the ones that keep OBS alive. They've been funding OBS. Same with XSplit. XSplit's been funding OBS for a while.
This right here. So it looks like they're going to integrate merch stores into that. That's kind of cool. Loyalties, leaderboards, Twitch panels.
Well, they already have their own merch store through that you can get set up through Streamlabs. They actually have got a lot of features that works really well. I mean, I always liked OBS, but I've been using Streamlabs just because I multi-stream.
Yeah.
And it's been the one place where I can get all my alerts, all that kind of stuff, all set up into one spot.
Well, what's
instead of running
interesting?
tons of browser sources.
Yeah.
What's interesting is that they're doing the whole where you can create your own thing. So this is what Streamlabs is doing. So you can create your own web link on the fly. That's what they're showing here. What I was reading, that you can create your own little site, and you could stream, and everything just works through Streamlab. So you're making it
So
off
kind of
their
like
servers,
WordPress, but for streaming.
pretty much.
Huh.
And you could sit, and on the fly, people could donate to you. You gain, I guess, you gain followers, things like that. You know, it automatically gives you followers to your Twitch, so you don't necessarily have to stream to Twitch. You could just create your own website. What they're allowing you through them, and you could just have your own server, and you can run it how many frames and how many, you know, your bandwidth you want to go.
Well, they've already been
That's pretty cool.
setting the stepping stones out for that. I mean, I think for at least a year or so, they've been not as far as streaming goes, but they've allowed you through their desktop app to create a landing site.
So
You know.
you can create their creator. You can do a creator site on there, right? And
Yeah,
then
you-
it'll bounce everything to everything else. That's what I'm seeing. You can bounce everything
That's
over to
kinda
like
cool.
Mixer, Twitch. So they're taking out, what they're doing is potentially they're taking out Restream.io, just completely taking it out. That's their competition they're going after. You know what I mean?
That's actually really cool. I didn't know this kind of thing was going on, honestly.
Well, you can. So originally, if you guys know this, you can create your own site, and you can do webhooks that send it to different streaming platforms, but you have to pay for the bandwidth and the server usage. That's the whole thing. I have friends that do that where they stream on their homepage of their website, and then
Yeah.
it gets sent out to everything else.
Huh. That is
But the problem,
cool.
but the problem is with that is if you're on Twitch and you're affiliated like myself, there's a no compete clause. That's the unless you go under a different name and do it that way, then you're really kind of your hands are tied.
Okay. That is
Yeah,
that is
Twitch-
definitely fucking awesome, dude. Like I didn't even know this was a thing.
And they also are not going to have a non-compete clause too. So there you go. Too.
Streamlabs is?
Streamlabs, Mixer doesn't. Mixer doesn't have a non-compete clause unless you become partner. Twitch has a compete clause where in their TOS it tells you if you go anywhere else to take your VODs from your stream that you just did in that day and you try to rebroadcast it, that's against their TOS.
Well, I don't do that anyway, so that's not really a big deal to me. That's not something
They
I
just
do.
they just don't want you taking your crap and moving it over to somewhere else or
Right,
streaming
right.
to it at the same time. That's what it is.
Oh, streaming to it at the same time. Now that I do have a problem with. Like I'm one of those, you know me, dude. Like I like to jump between different platforms just to check them out, to see how they're doing. I want to see what the growth is like. I want to see what kind of interactions I can get. Like, I mean, that's why I was trying. What was that hitbox there for a while? Like that was a thing. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, now Smashcast and Caffeine. You have Caffeine, Smashcast,
Caffeine's
Stream
still
Me.
doing extremely well. Like Caffeine blew the hell up. Like they're coming in close behind Twitch. Right now.
Twitter's becoming like supposedly what I was reading is Instagram's gonna get into the gaming section too, taking Instagram TV and their Instagram or IGTV, and they're now gonna make a gaming section for it where you could stream to it as well. And Facebook's doing it obviously. And then Twitter's getting in on the game streaming stuff too, and they're partnering with Caffeine, so it simultaneously works together.
And Facebook has been really pushing creators lately. Like I've noticed, they've been really like you don't even have to pay for it right now because they want to grow their gaming section so badly. Like I've seen like at least 3 or 4 gaming ads when it comes to creators on my feed that I'm not even following.
That you see that all over Instagram. Like Instagram, because I know Facebook owns them, you just go down every third person's picture, they're just hitting you with that. Come join Facebook Gaming and do it now, and you can pay for this package and bam.
And they throw up whoever's live streaming at that point too. Like that's what I think is cool about it. Like there's been times where I thought it was just a you know how those bot ads that come up. Like I thought it was just one of those, so I clicked on it, and it was actually somebody streaming, and it was that person. So I'm like, hey, that's actually pretty cool.
Well, my thing with Facebook, what I like is they've given you a creator studio now at this point. And so it's like it's making it very tempting to do videos because they don't really have very many restrictions comparison to YouTube.
I told you before, dude. Like my hot talk for my community out here blows the fuck up every video I put up. It's weird. Like I could just upload or stream at the same time, and that actually gets a lot of hits. But if I try that somewhere else, no way. Like it doesn't get anything. That's why I'm really considering like what Jace is doing right now because his like the platform he's on, and he's told us before, like Jace, you told us before, like you kind of like you accrued these people pretty quickly versus your Twitch shit. So like I've thought about doing it myself.
Yeah, I think Twitch. I mean, I had an on and off account. I started really streaming to Twitch, I think, beginning of the year. Facebook, I started streaming in September. Basically, when it breaks down, I think Facebook, I was gaining about 100 followers a month, where I think Twitch, I'm at 155, 157, something around there.
That's pretty damn good, dude. That's hella good. See, that's why I'm thinking about it, Rev. Like, that's why right there. Like, if my videos can blow up, even my Digital Fracture account, like the videos were getting views from like last year when I was testing it out the first time. I'm not getting followers, but shit, the views are there.
Well, I'm in the opposite side of that spectrum. See, I'm in the opposite spectrum. My Twitch is blowing up. Everything else is kind of like, below.
Bottoming out.
So, yeah, so it's kind of like I started when I left Twitch for a while there. I saw same account I'm using since 2014. I did Mixer for a while, and I was booming on Mixer to a certain extent just before that plateau hit of where before they changed the rules about being partner, I was literally considering it.
Yeah.
And the thing with Mixer, they just went downhill after that. More changes that weren't really for me. The smaller streamer was more for the partners, and they need to have affiliate program on Mixer. There's no excuse for that. They need to have it at that point. The way they're doing it, they need to have something there. So Mixer and Twitch for me is like the two. Like if I go back to Mixer tomorrow, I have almost 400 people there, and then I have here 650. So it's really hard to go start a different platform and try to grow it to me.
Yeah.
On top of what I'm doing, because Twitch is my everything at this point. I've put everything into Twitch. So I did the exact opposite than Jace did. When Mixer did all their changes, I came back and I just blew up. It was just like, bam, follow. And it was like, it was intense at one point. So I went from having 325 now to 600.
Yeah.
So it's really hard. And on top of that, Twitch has been paying off for me.
Yeah.
But
Well, even Facebook has a affiliate program, and they've only been out for a little bit over a year. They have their Level Up program, which is similar to Twitch's affiliate, but they rolled that out, I think, 6 months after they started the Facebook gaming, and it just blows my mind that Mixer still hasn't done that yet.
Yeah. Mixer, the one thing with Mixer I didn't understand, and here's what I didn't get. They made embers and other currencies, but you can't do anything with it. You can only go into partner streams and throw it at them. You can't give it to somebody small. If you watch ads, you can't do it. And it's, to me, if Phil Spencer has been behind, he talks about Mixer and he's behind the Mixer thing. Why didn't you give an affiliate already? You got the infrastructure, you got the servers, you got the people. Why didn't you do it? They've been around. They were Beam at one point, and I loved Beam.
I miss Beam.
Beam was the shit. And then when I was in the owner of Mixer before he sold, and when he changed the name, he was doing the reason I changed it because I'm about the music. Wicked. When he said that, I was like, that just made no sense to me. Why you would change a name, an iconic name, into something just because you're doing music, and it has to be that way. It just made no sense. They could have grown the Beam name and made it into something cool. Because there was so many slogans.
Didn't he work with Casey Neistat because of that? Like he was like, yeah, we'll go ahead and change our name. We'll let you have it, so that way he can have his Beam name for his product before he sold it to CNN.
I believe, and there was also a vacuum company I was threatening to sue too as well, because they were gonna go and change Beam to Beam.com. And when Microsoft went to do that, it was a huge vacuum company in England that owns that website name and the copyrights. So I get why they changed it. They did it so they didn't get sued. But if Microsoft has all this money, they could have just bought the site name. With the billions they're making.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
But this is cool. This creator site is cool, though. I like how we're getting now innovations within streaming to where if you just don't want to be on one single platform, you could be like on 6 or 7 different platforms and streaming, and you could keep it all in one chat. So I do like that.
So here's my question. Can I just create my site and just stream to that site and then just share it out on social media instead of having like Facebook, Twitch.
You can integrate it within code with CSS, and you can map it to
I know
when
some
you go
basic
live.
CSS. Yeah, I could do that. That'd be good.
When you go live on your main site, if you make, let's say, like a WordPress, and you decide you want to go live off the site, you can. You could send it through like Amazon servers if you want to. You can make it all into the cloud and just send it down to all the streaming platforms. I've seen people do it. Like a lot of the NDI, if you have dual PCs like me, a lot of the NDI streamers do that. They just send it up to the cloud, and then they just bounce it off to like 7 different platforms, and they stream off of 7 different platforms. A lot of the YouTubers I watch do that.
Yeah, NDI seems to be pretty legit. I've seen the optimization for it when it comes to that multi-stream. It looks pretty cool. I mean, but the quality isn't as good. But I mean,
well, NDI is hit or miss because it's all through your network in your home. So it's literally you're sending data, you're passing back and forth signals. So if you have a laptop in your house and you want to do NDI and you just want to do dual PC and stop all the madness, you could do that. But a lot of my friends that have tried NDI have had issues. I've had issues with NDI. That's why I still use a capture card. NDI is a hit and miss thing. They're getting better with it.
Yeah.
What I like is what I do like is XSplit is helping out OBS and Streamlabs is helping out OBS, and they're all just working together to keep OBS alive. And that's the good part about that. You know, money is there.
So live streaming, Pete, when the hell are you going to start doing that, sir?
Whenever I feel well enough, man.
Are you still sick?
Dude, I am. I'm fucked up, bro.
Bro, what the hell happened? Like the last time I talked to you, you were like getting over a cold.
No. I don't know what's going on, but I gotta figure it out.
Oh, dude, I hope you get better, bro. Like, you've been sick for how long now? Like,
dude, it's been years, bro.
Yeah, that's fucking insane. The last time we actually did this, you were coughing up a lung. Last time we talked, you were coughing up a lung. Oh man. Well, shit. Well, cause I've always like wondered how come you never make content, dude? Because like you got a pretty good voice for this. You could bust out some
I know.
YouTube
I want
videos.
to. I just have no fucking energy. I lay in bed all fucking day, dude.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it sucks.
Doctors know what's up or no?
They just keep bouncing me from one to another, and none of them ever figure it out. I think I gotta wait for it to get a little worse so they can figure out what the fuck it is.
Antibiotics?
They help, but they won't get rid of it.
Oh, dude. That's terrible.
I'm thinking it's another tooth, because I had another tooth that did this to me for like 8 years. But I'm not 100% on it, and it's already got a root canal, so I don't want to just go yank it.
Oh,
Not without
I
at least
forgot
being...
about that because it's connected to your sinuses.
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks, dude.
So is anybody ready for Destiny 2? The next stuff to come to Destiny 2? I mean, I know they're advertising it. I just saw an advertisement for it.
What's coming up next?
The stuff that comes with the annual pass.
Oh, okay.
It's the Season of Opulence. Comes out tomorrow, I believe.
Jace is the resident Destiny 2 pro. So what can we get with this, sir? Because I know a lot of my community love Destiny 2. Like they ride and die Destiny 2. So
let's see. Well, of course, there's a new raid coming. Let me see if I can send you guys a link to something. Here we go. Yeah, there's gonna be a new raid coming, and they're going to be having a new PvE event called the Menagerie, that sounds somewhat similar to kind of more of an enclosed, I don't know, maybe like a Prison of Elders kind of event from Destiny 1.
yeah.
Yeah, it starts on June 4th. Yeah, so Menagerie is what it's going to be called, which I'm excited for. They're going to be having... there's going to be a heroic mode for it at some point later in the month. I think June 25th. Menagerie, I guess they haven't been super clear on it, but there's going to be a way for you to almost pick your rewards when you're completing Menagerie runs. So it'll be less randomized. I'm guessing it's going to be somewhat similar to kind of exotic quests that they've implemented in the past. It'll be somewhat similar to that. There's going to be some new exotic quests for this. They're going to be bringing back Truth, which was a rocket launcher from Destiny 1.
Remember that
They're going to
thing.
be bringing back Lumen, or not bringing back. Excuse me. They're going to be bringing a new one called Lumina, which is going to be a hand cannon, which I'm a little less excited for. I'm not a hand
So
cannon
I
player.
love
They've
hand
done a lot
cannons.
of those. This is like their fifth exotic one this year.
They all
Um,
suck though. Like I'm still using Ace of Spades.
yeah, it's just not my thing. Scout rifles, auto rifles, I'm happy.
I'm all about the scout rifles and auto rifles personally.
No, sir.
Shotguns are okay. Like I like to surprise people with a shotty every now and then. But
I
yeah,
don't use the shotgun as much since they took away Blink from my um, hunter, which makes me sad. Yes, I was one of those, the Blink shotgunners in Destiny 1.
ouch.
But then they're also going to be having something called Tribute Hall, which they haven't clarified. And then, of course, Moments of Triumph, which they do every single year, where you complete basically certain achievements, and then you can get like a heavy discount on like a T-shirt that you can buy from the Bungie store, wear proudly, and it'll give you like different in-game items like new banners and skins and that kind of stuff if you complete all the Moments of Triumph.
That's pretty cool.
So yeah, there's going to be some good stuff coming. There's also going to be I'm excited to see what Menagerie looks like. It's supposed to be a wave-based somewhat mode similar to Escalation Protocol and Blind Well, but they haven't clarified it, so we will see.
All right. Because I know you're really into it, Pete. I know you played Destiny too, because you jumped in on my ass one night when me and Rev were
Yep.
playing it.
Bro, I can't believe we went 2 rounds. I was on your team and you did not even notice me, bro.
I'm
I could not
sorry,
fucking
man.
believe that.
I'm so sorry. Well, I wasn't paying attention to who was on my team.
I figured.
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention, and then like all of a sudden I see that this son of a bitch was like shotgunning my ass. I was like, "What the fuck?" I'm like, "This is like, am I being stream sniped or something?" And I turn around, I'm like, "Oh no, it's Pete."
So, Brimstone, tomorrow, they know we own iPhones, so tomorrow is the tomorrow's the big event for Apple, so I'm pretty excited for that.
Oh, sweet, dude, sweet.
Finally getting some announcements on iOS 13, finally. Finally, we're going to get some widget support. It's going to be good.
Sounds good, Jack. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out with us, man. I do appreciate it. Yeah, new Apple stuff, man. I am actually looking forward to it.
And the end of a 20-year era, man. They're getting rid of iTunes. Just literally, boom, cutting it. Over.
I think I own 5 songs on iTunes total.
I've never used iTunes before, ever.
Really?
I've never used it because
Nope.
I thought for the longest time that their DRM with their iTunes was a little ridiculous. So like I never popped onto it. Like I've always been a Spotify guy. Spotify, and before there was Spotify, I was using Rhapsody when Rhapsody was good.
I had iTunes when it first came out in 2002, and most of the time I used Apple most of the time was ripping music. I mean, back in those times, it was ripping music. There was no streaming services.
Yeah.
I still believe in the streaming services don't offer half of what, I have in my collection.
True.
As far as CDs go, like, Tool, like the band Tool, where's that exist on Spotify? Don't.
Right.
And I'm a little disappointed with that.
They did exist though. That's the thing. Like I was listening to Schism not that long ago. What the fuck happened? Like,
yeah,
did they like pull their contract with Spotify? Is that what happened?
Supposedly. I mean, my thing is with all these streaming platforms, I mean, they brought the iPod Touch back. A lot of people are upset about it. And the thing about that is a lot of people still are in the old school mindset where if you don't have a streaming platform or a signal, what's the next best thing? Physical music.
You know what's funny? Like I was looking at that. Like I would probably get that just to listen to music and like browse the internet without killing my actual 7 Plus. So I mean that's a good idea. It's not a bad idea. Shit, are you kidding me, dude? I would go if Microsoft tomorrow was like, oh, by the way, because of the movie, we're bringing back the Zune. I'd be all over it.
Oh, dude, I'd be all over.
I'd be all over it, dude.
I remember owning the Zune. Which one did I own? I owned the big fat black one that looked like a brick, and it had this screen, and like it was so revolutionary.
Bro, I'm telling you, like, because look what they did with the first movie, Volume 1. Like all of a sudden you start seeing seeing that's what I'm trying to say, not singing. Seeing
Please partner. Like, I would love to see Microsoft, and I know this sounds crappy of me, a Huawei. Just partner with them because they need an OS right now, and just go make Windows alive again on their platform. Like, just make Windows OS back on a phone. I'd be all right with that.
I'd be okay
With some
with
app
that.
support.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that.
For sure.
I like Android.
I liked Android until fucking Samsung like killed all my phones super fast. I was like, okay, fuck this, I'm done.
Dude, LG.
Yeah,
They got some good shit.
Yeah, I was gonna go with LG because I'm a huge LG fan. I love their TVs. I love their electronics. They do really well in that department. So I've thought about it. Well, I mean, we're coming up on the hour, you guys. Is there anything else you want to talk about, Pete? I know you got here a little late, but whatever.
Nah. Yeah, AMD. They're doing good. I like it.
I guess before we could go, do you know if they're gonna be improving on their instructions per clock?
Yes.
Yeah, 15% is what they said, but we won't know until benchmarks come out.
Well, at Computex, what you got shown, Brimstone, most of it from what I was watching on footages and whatnot, we got new cases. Corsair came out with their own custom loop stuff gear now
I
that they're
saw
coming
that
out with.
they're working with EK with that. I saw that. That's really
actually
awesome.
some Aqua Cool. That's who they're working with. Aqua Cool, and then EK's doing their blocks.
Yeah.
So they partnered with the two best companies you can get. For what I saw, Cooler Master's killing it. Like some of the shit I saw from Cooler Master, like they're literally releasing the smallest mechanical keyboard you can get wireless. Literally gaming keyboard that has pretty much MX Cherry. There'll be the new MX Cherry stems that are the smallest ever made. For they're taking on the chiclet keyboard kind of status. And then MSI and from what I saw, MSI and Dell pulling the stops. They're actually doing an open air laptop. And it'll be the first two laptops to have open air. So they showed off a full Ryzen chip running on this thing. And then at the bottom, they have it all open air. So where it's sucking air from the bottom. And they said it, they'll be the first time laptops actually don't get thermal throttled. They compared it to an Apple MacBook, saying thermal throttle. They said within 10 seconds of video editing, they said Apple was thermal throttled. And then they showed off an MSI laptop, and they were just like, yeah, we're not thermal throttling. We're sitting at 75 to 65 Celsius.
There was
Shit.
There
nothing.
There was a Gigabyte laptop that Linus was looking into. They had 6 different editing programs going off at once and rendering, and it didn't even come close to the Apple lineup. Like the Apple lineup was already overheating. And
what was the other one?
I guess Gigabyte was like throwing shade at Apple over that.
I think it was MSI showed off. They showed off a 144 hertz, 45-inch television.
Ooh.
What?
At Computex, they showed off a 144 hertz television with FreeSync.
Oh god,
that was their big announcement.
I think Pete just like that's gold.
Asus was the other company. They're showing off second gen of their TVs.
I just want like a 30-something inch 1440p, but I don't have the money for that. So
I'm like, damn. When do we get bigger sizes? Mostly at Computex, they showed off like panels. Aeromax was the worst out of all the events I saw. Was Aeromax. Aeromax was just flat out garbage. And I sat here.
Aeromax flopped, huh?
Yeah, they're doing they're going for aesthetics more than front airflow.
Oh hell no.
A lot of case companies have been doing that lately.
And Cooler Master just killed it. Like literally, like they have for the they're doing where you with their cooler. So they have a new cooler where they're taking the approach where it's gonna have the block and the CPU block as well, all in one. It'll have 2 radiators you can put up on the top and in the front. So you'll be able to do double the cooling, and their first company, they're gonna do dual pumps going forward. So
dual pumps. Oh yeah, for the GPU block, right?
No, they're doing dual pumps for CPUs now. They're gonna have dual pumps going forward, dual flow radiators and everything.
I wonder if it's gonna have a
What could
delay.
even need that though?
Well, that's what I was just gonna say. If they have a delay on the flow pump, they can keep the hot water. You know what I mean? Like keep the temperatures down as the
They were
first
talking
pump
about
going through, and then relay it back and have it go into a circle. So that way, you know what I mean? Like an auto circle when the water that it's in the second reservoir reaches a certain temp, then it goes back through again. You know what I mean?
it's to dissipate heat when overclocking. They were really going hard about overclocking and how people are doing it more often, like overclocking. And then the two other ones that I saw was the X570 boards. I saw what company was it? Asus pulling out the stops. They were like, we're going all hard. Anything that's on Intel that you see for years, we're AMD's are full. They said it. We're full going AMD. AMD's going to get the priority going forward.
Bro.
Good.
Well, did you see that Gigabyte board that has dual AMD CPU sockets? Oh yeah.
Did you see?
What?
Did you
Oh,
see the?
dude. Yeah, Pete. Think about it,
Did you
man.
see?
2600X's times 2.
Ugh.
Did you see them? PCI 4.0 AMD's the only one doing it right now, and they showed off an expansion slot, and you can get over 3,000 writes and downs on a NVMe drive. I was just like, holy shit.
That blows Octane out the fucking water by.
NVMe RAID with PCI 4. That's good, dude. You know the you see the boards coming out with that shit. They got fans on the chipsets again now
Yeah,
Dude,
because
they-
that
hell
shit's
yeah.
gonna be running them so fucking hot with that much bandwidth.
Did you see the SATA plugins on that thing? And the
I
little,
did.
Dude, like you could plug your current SSD into that thing. That's gonna be
It's
fucking
gonna be sick.
amazing, dude.
Hey, I'll bet you my Crosshair Hero 7 will be able to do PCI 4.0
Probably. Yeah,
because they're gonna be
it
able
runs off a
any
PCIe
board.
slot, right?
Yep.
Yeah, you're
Any
good.
X470 board that's got the right traces for it, they can enable it in the BIOS, and they're saying that I mean, they might not do it for all of them, but I bet you they'll do it for Gigabyte will do it for its top one. I can't, what is it, the Gaming 7 or whatever, and Asus will do it for the Crosshair series.
Hey,
That'll be sick.
it's getting interesting for what I saw on motherboards. I even saw what was it? EVGA even talking about possibly doing some AMD stuff finally.
Right.
I was like, finally, like, okay, they're talking about it.
As much as I love Asus, like, God, they're fucking expensive.
They are, dude.
Well, MSI, like they're doing dual heat sinks on a motherboard for the first time.
Yeah,
Like,
but they
dual stack
fucked up their BIOS though. They didn't have core voltage offset
Yeah.
on their X470 boards, which meant overclocking with PBO on Ryzen was just a nightmare because the voltage on the PBO tables was way too fucking high.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but they usually fix that shit though pretty quickly.
Usually, that's the thing. I don't know if they fixed it for any of the X470 boards. I just hope they implement it for the X570 boards.
I know Jason's been a little quiet. What are you excited for going forward as far as gaming? What are you excited for this year, E3 wise?
E3, I gotta say, not so much the tech stuff. I'm pretty content with what I got. Gaming, oh man, there's so many. I'm super excited to see what Microsoft is coming to do. They announced that they're going to be revealing 14 new first party games. They're obviously going to be talking about a new console coming out, Nintendo and Xbox. I mean, a lot of it's the stuff we've been talking about before, Game Pass and Xbox Live and all that. I'm just excited to see what comes down to what the game's coming out to, because that's always what it comes down to as far as where people go and how they want to play is, software moves hardware.
Well, I'm excited to see what they're going to do at Outer Worlds, and I'm excited to see what Ghost Recon is going to be. I want to see full footage from the Ubisoft
dude,
event.
the Ghost Recon game. Oh, dude, I am so fucking hyped for that. Because I like the last Ghost Recon game. The last Ghost Recon game is really good. In fact, I still play it from time to time. That shit is an open world bounty hunting type game, dude. If you've never played it, Rev, you need to play it, bro. It's really good.
Here's one last thing for the show, Brimstone. Here you go. I'll give it to you.
Okay. Let's see. What is it? The E3 stuff? Okay.
Gears 5 I'm excited for. Like legitimately Gears 5. I'm like all there. And I can't wait to see them throwing a swerve at us and do Halo 6 and show us a little something, what they've been working on.
I'm excited. Everybody's saying it's going to come out this year. I'm not sure that it will come out this year. I know for a fact that the studio is taking a lot more time after all the complaints that they received from at least campaign side on Halo 5.
Yeah.
So I'm more willing to bet that it's going to come out next year in 2020 rather than the end of 2019. But regardless, I'm excited to see some of the teasers, that sort of stuff. Because last year they didn't actually show any gameplay on it. They just showed the new engine, showed off the new engine that they built for it. So I don't expect Halo Infinite to come out this fall, but I definitely think we'll see a lot more gameplay.
Maybe winter.
Well,
Years though, I'm excited.
This year it's going to be the Master
Fall,
Chief.
winter. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
It's going to be Master Chief Collection this year and Gears of War 6. Those are going to be their two aces in the hole this year. We may get surprised. We may see some Ninja Theory stuff. We never know. Because they own Ninja Theory now.
Well, and there's been strong rumors going around about a Fable 4 coming out. I mean, I think we're going to be wowed this year. Microsoft has been playing it kind of quiet the last couple years, and I think
who's doing Fable 4, right? Yeah, the people from Forza, the Playground Games are doing. They want to branch out from Forza, and they're doing the first ever revitalization of Fable, which I'm excited for.
Yeah, which will be fun. That was always a strong IP for Microsoft.
They needed to. They did have a Fable game. I was really surprised. Scalebound. I was really surprised that they didn't continue with that, but another publisher picked them up after that. So
well, the developer came out and said that they retired. I don't remember his name. The head of the studio, though, he came out and said it wasn't Microsoft's choice, and he was getting irritated that everybody was blaming Microsoft. It was a lot of things, but mainly neither Microsoft nor the studio were happy with the way that the game was turning out, and that's why it got canceled.
Wait, which game?
Scalebound.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm excited this year. There's a lot of Switch stuff. I hope they do announce a new Switch. I hope they do combine the Switch and 3DS together and make one platform. I'd be all right with that.
I was just gonna say, Switch. I mean, I know it's a rumor, but like, I want that shit to be real so badly. Like,
same
3DS on the Switch, dude. That would be so fucking. Because like, if there's one thing that Nintendo does right is the upscaling. Like, their upscaling is probably the best in the market right now, and you couple that with the idea of having Microsoft Game Pass on that bitch, like, bro, like, can anybody else say Halo laying down on your couch? I mean, come on. That's like the ultimate way of doing it, bro. That's the ultimate way of doing it. Just fucking plug that bitch in, download the game. When it's done, go to your couch, turn the AC on, and just relax the whole night. That would be.
That's going to be all through Project.
For me,
that's going to be all through Project X, which I'm pretty excited for. Like, that's the only streaming platform I'm excited for is Project X. That's about it. You know what I mean? Because if they include that within Game Pass, it's just a win-win.
Yeah,
it's a win-win because look at all the library we have. Any of us here that have been playing on Xbox for years, we have a huge library. So if we could just stream it to the Switch or to our TV and just sit back comfortable with the AC on, that's a win.
It's
all plug in a mouse and keyboard.
Honestly, the only reason I haven't gotten rid of my Xbox because I don't touch it anymore is I just have too many games on it. I think I've got 800 games or so on my Xbox, and it would kill me inside to actually get rid of that thing. Even though with the PC I have, I can't justify playing on my Xbox anymore.
And see, I still play on my Xbox just because I know there's a lot of games that I have on Xbox that don't run on PC good. You know what I mean? Like, that's
I do Game Pass here and there.
So I'll play Call of Duty. Like, I'll main Call of Duty on a console before I will on PC. Just because the community won't stick around long enough for them to fix the problems. So there's an issue, it pretty much dies immediately. So it's like there's not much of a point for me to spend $60 on PC just to only play it for a month. So
yeah, definitely fair.
Well, I'm excited. Like, it's get good for the summer. I mean, this is a good time to build a PC, and it's a good time
RAM
for
prices are
gaming.
finally dropping.
Yes.
And you know what? SSD prices are the lowest it's ever been.
Yep. And
Like,
with
you
the
could
new Ryzen chips, dude, I'll bet both the last gen Ryzens and the Intel chips will get a price drop. So yeah, budget gaming will be great.
you could buy a 2 terabyte NVMe drive for literally 130. Literally,
Damn.
it's like literally getting good.
I
Like,
paid like less than $100 for my 32 gigs of RAM. That's at a higher clock speed than what I got with my first round of G Skill. So I'm happy about that. This is the first time I've ever had 32 gigs of RAM, and it's pretty amazing.
Dude,
Fixed all my
Chrome
issues.
doesn't suck.
No, I don't use Chrome, sir. That's for peasants.
I know, I don't either, but like, bruh. Even with Firefox, I'll be up to like 18-20% of that RAM
Yep.
gone. If I was using Chrome, dude, it'd be half, bro. It shouldn't be using
speaking
16
of
gigs.
Chrome browser, Microsoft's got a browser coming out with the next iteration of Windows, the Chromium browser that they're developing. If you haven't been using it, pretty damn good.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's
People
called
are pissed that
Canary,
they're
right?
going away from Edge, though.
I've been using Edge Canary and Edge, and they've been like top notch for me, dude. Like, I put uBlock Origin on it. Guess what? Not a single hiccup. I go to YouTube, don't have to watch a single video.
Ad.
That's what I meant to say. I'm all pause. Oh, I want to talk
Why
about
would you go to YouTube then?
right. So I want to touch on that. I want to see if anybody else is getting this. I tested YouTube out without uBlock Origin on, and I'm starting to get double and triple B-roll ads before the video starts. Has anybody else experienced that?
I don't ever
I
watch
can't
YouTube
say.
without ad block on, so I wouldn't know.
Well, I tested it out because somebody said something to me about it on Facebook, and I was like, "What?" And because they said they didn't watch a few of my videos because of it, so I was like, "Okay, I'll go check it out."
Well,
And
it depends on
they've been double rolling it, dude. Like even on the 5-minute videos, 6-minute videos on other YouTubers, like if you go to their ad stuff, they've got like double rolls right at the very beginning, and they're not doing.
Well, it depends. It depends on what you're watching, though. So, like, if I go to, let's say, a wrestling podcast, right? Like, I think it's like every 10 minutes there's an ad. Like, literally an ad. There's one like in like the quarter of it, because I do watch a lot of YouTube off the Roku box.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, like, there's like, even on the iPhone, using the YouTube app, or even on Android,
Yeah. Even
there's
on the
ads. There's like
iPhone.
4 or 10 ads, literally.
Well, because on my iPhone, I've been using a lot of that for art and social media. So I've been posting art stuff. I've been retweeting art stuff. I go to YouTube and I just chill for the night. But like that's one thing I've noticed in the last 4 months that I've been doing this. It's just the double B rolls, dude. Like I don't quite understand. I thought it was just an Apple thing at first, and I was like, okay, so I'll just I'll turn off my uBlock just to see what's up. And right off the rip, dude, 6-minute video, 2 ads right at the jump, and then about a minute into the video, then boom, another ad. I'm like, what the fuck? Like this is crazy to me. So I'm like, okay, so uBlock Origin is even more important than it ever has been before.
Right.
But we are coming up on the hour and 30-minute mark. Is there anything you're looking forward to, Pete, at all, besides AMD?
GTFO. I want that to release.
Yeah, GTFO.
Hell yeah.
Is that ever coming out?
Bruh. It was supposed to come out last October, dog. Who knows?
Yeah, I know. You were excited. You were
Bruh,
like
I'm
hyped up
pissed.
for it.
Because I can't play Left 4 Dead 2.
Why?
I don't know. It does not like my computer for some reason. I've tried every fucking fix, and it crashed. Like I get halfway through a match and it'll just crash, and I can't deal with that shit.
What?
And there's
what was
no
the
other
issue?
good cooperative shooters.
What was the error? That you were getting on that?
I don't even think it gave me an error.
It just shut itself off.
No, it just the game drops and I get desktop.
Because
it's weird.
I was having a similar issue with Rev when we were playing Division 2, and it stopped. I don't remember what we did, Rev, but like it stopped. I don't know.
I might try completely like deleting it and reinstalling it and checking my DirectX and all that. But yeah, God, it looks so fucking good. I was so into another co-op shooter.
Have you tried Killing Floor 2, dude? That shit's awesome.
It's all right, but I prefer the Left 4 Dead style better, and that's what.
Have you done World War Z?
Oh, I
I
heard
read
that
some
was
Probably
bad
the
things
closest
about
to Left
that.
4 Dead. It's solid. I
Is
really
it?
enjoyed it.
I
Yeah,
might have to get it then.
for a $30, I think it was 30 or $35. It is a solid game, and I think here in the next week or two, maybe it's already out. It's been a bit since I've touched it. They're releasing more free DLC missions and stuff like that, and it's nice because it's basically like Left 4 Dead on steroids
Yeah.
with the amount of zombies, and then you have specific classes that you play that you can upgrade over time with different perks and stuff like that, which is something I always wanted in Left 4 Dead. And then there's also a multiplayer component to it, which actually isn't half bad, where two teams against each other, whatever game mode, and then there's hordes of zombies that break in at the same time. Should definitely check it
Gangster,
out.
if you
Yeah.
if you like Left 4 Dead, it's on steroids, and what's cool is when you turn up the levels, it just the highest level you can go, they even have one over it. And dude, it is one of those zombies just come at you and you die immediately.
It's crashing waves of zombies, and you know what? Honestly, it's probably the first licensed game, and I don't know how long that has actually been solid, which is surprising for how late the game has come out after the movie.
Yeah, it was a couple years,
especially
right?
the book.
It is really good. Like I like the chick character in the game. Really good.
I tried what was that one? It's still on early access. Earthfall. That's almost a complete Left 4 Dead ripoff. It's just like aliens. That was all right. It just couldn't get me though.
I think World War Z would do that for you.
God, that game just looks so good.
And then I got to go with these two gentlemen. One run with Brimstone and one run with Jace over here of Gears of War 4.
My internet went out. I apologize.
No, you're fine, dude. You're good.
Just switched it over.
Yep. You're good.
I got to play Gears of War with both of you gentlemen.
Can we run that in a 3 or just 2?
Yeah, you can.
We
Yes,
should-
you can
we
run
should-
it in
We
threes.
should try to run that in
No,
3s.
actually, no, you can't. It's only 2s.
I thought it went up to 4. Was I wrong?
No, for campaign,
Is it-
it's only 2.
Oh, that's disappointing.
I know.
So if you
I was
play
thinking
multi-
that could make for some fun time, dude.
On multiplayer, you can play up to 6 people.
For TDMs and stuff, right? Or like
Yeah.
horde mode or whatever. Yeah.
Horde mode, yep. It's just campaign. I learned that the hard way because I had like 3 people that wanted to play it.
Yeah, I think that would be fun. I wish the campaign would allow you to have more than 2, but it's all good.
Well, they have 4 characters. I don't understand the logic there. Oh wait, no, because if you play it, something happens to one of the characters, and yeah, I get why they don't.
Okay,
do it.
I get that. Yeah, I get that. If something happens, it wouldn't make sense if that person's still alive or whatever because of him. Dying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I've just always loved the Halo take on it. You just have 4 Master Chiefs. It's the best way. Screw all logic.
Simple. Yeah.
It doesn't need to be a story explanation.
That is something that
Like the good old days, man. Duke Nukem. Aliens invade, they capture all the women, and Duke is having none of that. That's all you need.
Yep.
Sounds like Marcus Phoenix for Gears. He's like, I'm not having any of it. Play a little bit of Gears of 4, and he's like, you young people, I just don't want any of this. Get out of my house. Stay far away from me. And then he gets put into this shit, and he's just like, I'm fucking you young kids. You taking an old man and bringing him into this shit again.
Like I saved the world like twice already, you motherfuckers. All I want to do is fucking fish, masturbate, and go to sleep.
Well, that's pretty much what Phoenix was doing in Gears 4. He's like, you came into my house and destroyed it.
Oh, dude, good times. But I'm gonna go ahead and call it. We're up at an hour and 35 minutes, so that's a pretty good run. Thank you, Jace, for coming aboard. You want to go ahead and shout yourself out again? Let people know where to find you and whatnot.
Yeah, I'm a streamer, The Mocking Jace, over on Facebook, Twitch, Mixer, and YouTube.
Sounds good. Pete, when you get better, do you plan on doing anything?
I do.
If you do
YouTube,
get better?
YouTube at least, yeah.
Jesus, because I knew you were streaming on this you were playing.
Yeah, I just ran out of people to help.
Dude, we haven't talked in a while, so I'll go ahead and lay out my schedule for you. I'm now 3:30 to 11:30, so I'm gonna be on a little earlier now. Instead of 1 a.m. So if you ever want to do something,
Right.
just let me know. You're on all my servers and shit. well, especially now with you being in Twisted. So we're always in here usually.
For sure.
We try to avoid the chaotic groups that come in, and you remember how that shit was.
Yeah, do you mean?
Yeah, we try to avoid those.
We
things.
could talk after the show.
Yeah, we could. Yeah, we definitely. Thank you, Jace. Thank you, Pete, for coming along. Rev, as always, thank you. As always, you can find these gentlemen on any of the links that I will put down below and the bottom. Or
speaking
as
of
Badger
last week,
says, down in the doobly doo.
Speaking of last week, more platforms. I did see that poll. More platforms. I hear you. We're gonna make that happen in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did see the voting from last week, and yes, we are going to be putting it somewhere audio-wise for you guys out there so you guys can hear it while you're driving and, listening to it with your, whatever Bear Dynamic product or, Bluetooth earphones out there.
Of course, they're voids, bitch.
I got the HS ones, Pete, and they're pretty good.
Right on.
$30, buddy. Walmart.
Dude, that's a steal.
Yep. But anyways, thank you guys for coming around. I do appreciate it. We'll talk more after this. All right. What the hell? Oh, here we go. Here's another song coming up. All right, officially, you guys have a great night. Thank you for coming aboard. This has been the Game Talk Podcast. Appreciate it.
Peace.
Have a great night, guys.